There are two things which no person on the internet is speaking about, which, if you applied literally today, not only will it be very easy and effortless for you to sign more clients. Basically, the problem you're currently facing right now is you don't have any people who want to speak to you. You have these services, you followed the advice of all the agency gurus, and you fell for the trap. They glamorized it, they maybe sold your course, they maybe sold your dream, whatever. And you started it full of hope, full of aspirations that this is going to be the thing which finally changes everything. I looked on that person's sale page and he showed a testimonial of a guy going from zero to $60,000 a month in a span of 17 days or something crazy. And you thought, for an absolute certainty, you're gonna get similar results. You finally enroll in their course, maybe you watch their YouTube videos, maybe you pirate their course, and you start trying out the outreach strategies which they teach, and you get no replies. Whatever they tell you, you apply it meticulously. They told you like this shit is gonna work, and you try that, but no results. Even if someone is crazy out of their mind and they finally decide to get on a sales call with you, they finally decide that maybe I'll just give this random retard who's messaging me out of the blue a shot. And you finally get on the sales call, you explain everything you have to offer, you follow the word by word advice, whatever your favorite guru gave you. Still, the person is comparing you. Your prospect is asking you questions like, what makes you different from XYZ person? Oh, can you give me a discount? You're way too expensive. I'll just go with that person instead. And if you face these issues, then you can continue watching because I learned it the hard way. There are some things which I never found on YouTube. And that's the only way I solved these issues for myself. And I am not here to sell you a 997 course or any random shit which you typically associate with people in my niche. I don't have a course to sell you. I don't have a school community to sell you. None of that shit. Basically, the first issue which I was just speaking about is no one is replying to your outreach messages. There are a lot of famous methods of outreach. Outreach is basically you have something to sell, you have a service or a product, whatever you have, and you reach out to people where you're basically saying you have XYZ problem and I have something which can help you fix that problem. So would you be open to trying it out? Would you be open to discussing about this on a call? Basically, you're trying to sell what you have to people, strangers, by sending them messages, emails, calling them up, all of that stuff. You looked at the statistics your favorite guru showed on his YouTube video or his course. Charlie Morgan showed you that if you record a Loom video where the person has their website in the background and you're just explaining how you can help them, you're gonna get like crazy reply rates. You're gonna have a 25-30% appointment booking rate. You followed all of these people, but the results they were getting, it was just not the same. Maybe you've realized this as well. There was a strategy which you were using like 6 months ago, 7 months ago, 1 year ago, which was working so well. It was getting you replies left, right, and center. But now you don't see any of that anymore. Now it's just crickets. Now no one is replying to the exact same thing which was working months ago. And you're just stuck wondering what exactly went wrong. That was exactly me. I started my email system, a new system of reaching out to people using cold emails. I tried it around September of last year and it worked fantastically. It got me book meetings with so many people. Literally, when I started my business, there were people I used to look up to, people I used to take advice from, people who helped me fix my life and everything. And these exact same people were the ones who were getting on a call with me just by me sending them an email, which was not even me, it was an automated software which was sending out these emails. That was working so well. And I tried out that exact same email right now, a month ago. And the results were absolutely terrible. Literally zero book meetings. Exact word by word shit. Literally the same thing. And it got me thinking, why is it that sometimes the same thing which was working so well a couple of months ago stops producing results? Why is the thing which has worked so well for XYZ person who's selling a course about it? How did it work so well for him? But it got me like zero results. Simple example, SMS outreach. Charlie Morgan had a course called Easy Grow. He's a very big guy in the agency space and everything. Definitely watches videos and stuff. His course is actually legit, not saying it's bad or something. but it did not provide me any results. And WhatsApp got me awesome results. But the same message on WhatsApp, which got me results 3 months ago, it stopped getting me responses after a month. And it's very confusing. Why is this the problem in the first place? And if I had to make an assumption why this might be the case, once again we come back to Charlie Morgan's course. One thing he did fantastically. No one else is doing this, by the way. What you do is whenever you buy someone's course or you watch someone's YouTube video, they're gonna give you like a messaging template, an email template, and I hate doing that, but people just like it. So in my software, I also give them like templates which they can change some words around and use it. People are lazy. We all are inherently lazy. No matter how much you tell someone to use their own brain and use the templates just to start and just see that basically, they're lazy. They won't change anything. They might make a couple of changes, not realizing that the hundreds of people, the thousands of people who are using that exact same thing are lazy as fuck, like them too. And they're going to do the exact same thing. Now imagine you receive the exact same message from 200 people. Like you receive the same exact email, the same exact subject line, where the person is asking question for your name, whatever. And it has the exact same Loom video attached, the exact same copywriting structure, the template, everything is the same. You're going to think something is wrong. You're not going to respond to that. I mean, in Twitter, there's this thing like you can create multiple Twitter accounts and you can use them to reach out to people. So there's this person, I don't remember his name exactly. He had 2 Twitter accounts, which he was using to reach out to people. And he sent me the exact same message from 2 or 3 accounts. And exact same message. And I just screenshotted the message he sent me from account number 1. And I sent it to the second account. No matter how good his offer was, what he had to sell, everything, I am never buying from him. It just feels like kind of weird. And it's the exact same message every single person on Twitter is sending out to people. And that got me thinking, what's the issue, the problem with this? And Charlie Morgan said it perfectly. In his course, he did not give a single fucking copywriting template. He gave examples, like a lot of examples of things which work perfectly. Cold email copy which has converted book in like hundreds and thousands of meetings. VSL templates. VSLs are basically video sales letter. What you add on your funnels and sales pages. Examples of that. Google Drive links. He gave examples of successful cold DMs, cold SMS, cold calling scripts which have worked perfectly. But he said, if you just copy it, it will work for a while. A week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. But there's this concept of stimuli entropy, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, basically stimuli entropy. Which stimuli basically means the things which you're using to make someone take a decision. For example, if there's a hot stove over here, like there's fire over here, and I put my finger over it, I feel extremely hot at my fingertip. And that basically induces me, that forces me to move my finger from the fire. It will tell me like, bro, this shit is hot. Just move your finger from here to here. And this is basically an action. So anything which forces you or causes you to take an action is an example of a stimuli. And Charlie Morgan gave that exact example. The messages which you're using when reaching out to people via emails and cold DMs, everything, that's an example of stimuli. Because when they read that message, you're basically trying to get a reply from them or them to book a call with you or pay you money, sell your product, whatever. That's an action. And the cold DM, whatever you're using, the message which you're sending out to them, that's a stimuli. Basically the thing which is going to force them to take an action. And that action is what you want. And all pieces of stimuli. Entropy. Entropy is basically a concept that all living organisms move towards death and decay. Human beings also entropy. Like we're born, we perform a function and after that we die. Similarly, every piece of message, every cold email copy, everything, it has a shelf life. And after that fixed period of time, it stops working. Or it's not as effective as before. Similarly, if someone is good with meta ads, they know this as well. There's a thing known as ad fatigue. Creative is basically the photos or the videos which you add in your Facebook or meta ads. that entropies. It might work fantastically for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but the chances of it working well for like 6 months continuously is not very high, to be honest, because every piece of copy, it entropies. And what Charlie Morgan said, whatever message you're using, even if it's working well, like till the time it's working well, do not mess around with it. If something is working well, just increase the volume. If you're sending out 100 messages and it's booking you like 5 calls, then send 200 messages and book 10 calls. Do this at the time. You're at least booking like 2 to 3 calls per 100 messages sent. And once you reach that place where the effect which you desire, it's just not there, then you need to change some things up. And he made people understand, like the only reason which I think is students are so successful is because he forced you to think. He's like, you can just try out these exact messages. It will work well for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But if you want to fix your issue, your problem of client acquisition forever, you need to understand the basics of acquisition, what basically forces someone to take an action. And unless you don't understand that, you'll always struggle. Because, like, just the example which he gave, you see one message which is working well, you copy it, and it works well for a week. But there are other retards like you who don't want to use their brain, and they'll copy the exact same message. And what does that lead to? Your market receiving the exact same message from hundreds, thousands of retards, exactly like you. Do you think it will convert well? Do you think it will give you awesome 100x returns? Obviously not. So if you want to truly win over a long enough period of time, you need to understand the basics of acquisition. What basically forces someone to take an action? And for that, you need to use your own brain. Which brings me to the first point. The reason your outreach messages are not converting, even if they were converting earlier, or even if some famous fucking guru is using them and he's getting results, but you're not getting the results, it's simply because it has entropied. And in order to literally get replies, in order to force someone to reply to you, you need to put something, you need to put a stimuli in action, which is not only effective, meaning it will force someone to reply to you. It should be new as well. Because if Mr. Beast creates a video, that video is probably effective. He's a genius of YouTube. But if I copy it word by word, then that's not going to convert. Because people are going to comment. Somebody just copied it. So even if something is effective, that's not enough. It should be new and it should be different. Because people don't like improvement as a whole. That's a concept from Russell Brunson, the founder of ClickFunnels. In his book, The Expert Secrets, which is, you can say like a Bible if you have a consulting type of business or a info product type of business. He said that people don't want improvement offers. What are improvement offers for someone who's wondering? Let's say I have a way of helping people lose 5 kgs. People don't want to buy a better or an improved version of diet plans. Like let's say the most famous method which is being preached right now for losing weight is intermittent fasting. People don't want to buy a new way of intermittent fasting, an improved way of intermittent fasting. People want to buy a new way of losing weight. They don't want you to teach them how to do intermittent fasting better. They want you to come up with a new way of losing weight. Maybe they don't even have to fast. Maybe they can eat Domino's every single day. Maybe they can eat ice cream and pizza. That's what they want. A new offer, a new opportunity, and not an improvement offer. Anyways, that's not the main point of the video. Basically, if you want to force people to reply to you, whatever message you're sending, it has to be new. Meaning it has to be different from what they've received before. And it should be effective. Because if it's not effective, like no matter how new it is, it won't simply work. And I know this is a very vague concept. So I'll give an example. I was speaking to Shad Khan. Search him up on Instagram. Pretty successful guy. He's around my age, like 6 months elder to me. He has an agency called bundlemedia.co, which does around $25,000-$30,000 a month. At the age of 18, I think that's pretty freaking dope, considering he's from a fucking third world country. Anyways, I was on a call with him and I just uploaded him. You know He once shared a strategy for reaching out to people. He shared a story that he was like, this is the exact thing which he told me. He was like, Somil, there was one day and I eagerly wanted to hit the $20,000 a month mark. He was at, I think, $18,000, $19,000 in monthly recurring revenue. And he was like, Somil, I was holding my head and I was literally on my desk, unable to understand how do I reach the next level. And I was just thinking, using my brain, what exactly can be done over here? And he was like, it just hit me then. I just realized before the agency thing, he also used to create content on YouTube. He was like, when I was a YouTuber, when I did not have a lot of subscribers and everything, I used to check my YouTube studio every single day. What do small YouTubers do? Just constantly check the fucking YouTube studio where they can see all the comments. They 100% read the comments. He had friends who were YouTubers. He was a YouTuber himself. And he understood that industry so well. He was like, there's no one who's reaching out to people via YouTube comments. So he found the YouTube channel of a group of yacht brokers, I think in US or something. And he just started commenting. And I think after a couple of comments, they replied back to him. And he signed them for like $3,000 a month, if I'm not wrong. That's a creativity. There's no course who is teaching you how to do this. You just have to use your own brain. For example, there was a time in my life where I was using WhatsApp. WhatsApp worked fantastically, phenomenally for me when I used it to reach out to people. But when I tried it in the US, when I tried to reaching out to businesses in the US with WhatsApp, I did not get like a lot of positive replies because people were not using WhatsApp a lot. I don't know what is wrong with Americans, but they just don't like to use WhatsApp as much as Indians and Europeans and people in the Middle East. In the UAE, almost everyone uses WhatsApp. In India, almost everyone uses WhatsApp. Like in Southeast America as well, I probably think people use WhatsApp a lot in countries like Brazil and everything. But for some reason, the people in USA, they just don't like that. So I was stuck. And I started to think, what do people use then? People use SMS. But SMS will be way too expensive for me. Plus, I have to get a lot of, like, basically sending cold SMS in the US is a very complicated thing. You have to get it verified from the US government. You need a registered business. And at that point of time, my business was not yet registered. So I needed a registered business. It needed a registered address in the US as well, if I'm not wrong. Plus, I need to get it verified by the US government. There's a thing called A2P, DLC verification, basically the technical stuff. And it was extremely expensive as well. Like, it was way too expensive, man. SMS in the US. Like, WhatsApp is so much cheaper compared to SMS. And I have never done that, so it was like a total gamble. And I could not even do it if I wanted to, because I did not have a registered business at that point of time. So I started to think, what do people use? And then it hit me. I use iMessage a lot. iMessage is basically Apple's version of messaging. Like, for example, if you use a normal message, let's say I want to send someone a normal message. I'll just try to find an example. Yeah. So let's say I send someone a normal SMS. It's green in color. But if I send a message to someone, I'll just try to see. I'll just show you. Yep. So if I send someone a message and the person is on iOS, the message is blue in color, if you can see that. That's basically iMessage. Normal SMS is green in color and iMessage is blue in color. And the coolest part about iMessages is it's free. I can send unlimited messages to literally anyone across the world and it does not cost me a penny. Unlimited messages at zero cost, provided they have an iPhone. And I got the reply. I just use my brain. Everyone is reaching out to these people using SMS and all of that shit. I just use my brain. What can be done over here? What's the best and the most effective strategy? What is new and effective at the same time? People probably don't get reached out to via iMessage. And the message I used was effective because it was a proven converting copy. And that's the reason you need that. Shad, another example he shared with me. He was like, I wanted to reach out to a local business in the US. And then I started to think, what do these people like? Where is their attention? And he came up with the conclusion that if there's a local business, they would 100% check the Google reviews. So he started reaching out to these people via Google reviews. He would leave them like a 5-star review and reply to that. And I think he closes time with this exact process and this exact strategy. If I'm not wrong, I'm not sure though. I'm not saying to go about and copy all of these processes. They will become saturated. I'm asking someone to create a automated Google Maps review, basically a tool which would allow me to automatically leave like hundreds, thousands of Google reviews. I'm asking someone on LinkedIn to create that exact software for me. So it will be saturated because I'm going to abuse the shit out of it till the time people are not using it. But once that is done, there are going to be ways. It will never end. There are going to be ways which are untapped. And there are going to be variations of a message which actually get replies. So the question is, do you have your own brain to think of it and use it? And if you expected like basically a answer like a one size fit all solution to this, you're so wrong. I can give you examples right now. But that's again the same exact thing. Let's say 100 people watch this video and every single guy sends out just 100 messages a day using the exact same strategies which I just shared right now. That's 1,000 messages. Sorry, 10,000 messages. 10,000 messages are going out every single day, which makes it 1 lakh a month, 100,000 messages a month. Sorry, 100,000 messages a week, 400,000 messages a month, which makes it around 12 fours are 48, 4.8 million messages a year. Whatever the niche you're targeting, there's a high chance the total number of people in that niche is less than 4.8 million. For example, my niche is agency owners. And I think there are like 400,000 or 500,000 agencies in the world. So literally in just 1 month, if just 100 people watch this video, there's a chance 200 people might watch it. If just 100 people watch this video and they just send out 100 messages, just 100 messages using the exact same strategy, in less than a month, all the agency owners in the world, literally in the world, someone in Nigeria, someone in South America would have received the exact same message. So you need to use your fucking brain. So if you come up with new ways of reaching out to people by using your brain, like what is a message which you would respond to, what is a way, like just use your brain, man. Figure out where someone's attention is and figure out a way to capture and grab that attention and forward it in the direction where you want it to go. If you do that, now you'll be booking meetings, qualified sales calls. But now the issue which will arise is you get on the call, you ask them the question, you follow the famous fucking script on the YouTube video by your favorite YouTube guru or the one which is being used by the people in your favorite guru's course, not realizing that there are 5,000 agency owners in the exact course from where you're stealing the sales script. It has been used on people before as well. So they can see through the cloak, the mask, the facade which you have put, like you're trying to act like a normal human being, you're trying to act like it's a normal conversation. They know it's a sales call because they know you're following and asking the exact same structure. You're following the exact same structure and asking the exact same questions which the 10 people before them, the 10 people before you had asked them when they got on a call with them. And the reason they're on a call with you in the first place is because the 10 people who had spoken to them earlier could not convert them into a customer. Now you know what the issue you're going to face is. Most people won't call you out on your bullshit. They'll just play along because humans don't like to create a lot of conflicts. So the chances that someone actually calls you out on this, I don't think so. It's extremely high. But when you finally pitched it and you've done everything, they're going to tell you that person is doing it 1,000 times cheaper. Can you do it cheaper than him? By the grace of God, I've never received this objection ever. Like I've never received the objection like your competition is doing this because I don't think so I have competition. Maybe that's extremely cocky and arrogant, but I truly believe that because everyone is a retard. They just want to copy exactly what is happening. Yeah, everyone is trying to sell fucking personal branding to coaches. That person is doing it, I'll also do it. I'll watch a reel of Ayman Arabo on Instagram. He's talking about the video editing agency. I'll watch a video of Sahil Kasano or any fucking guru. And I'll start a personal branding agency. What niche will I target? I'll get into coaches. Because I heard from this guy on Instagram. Coaches have a lot of money. They want to pay a lot of money for this. And then you go and you try to do it. And you're not getting the results which you want. So I believe I don't have any competition. But I'll share a quick story which happened yesterday. So I have my platform called SalesGen, which is basically a platform which I built where you have everything which is required to acquire high ticket clients. You have a free trial, by the way. Just go and try it if you want to. So I have that platform, and there's a WhatsApp community of all the members over there. And in the WhatsApp community, I just posted an announcement. You can post announcements, which is basically a message which goes out to all the people in the community. I posted an announcement that LinkedIn Sales Navigator is available at extremely affordable prices. So normally the cheapest plan of LinkedIn Sales Navigator is $99 a month. I was like, I can get you access in your fucking account for just $49. I posted that message. I got a couple of queries. Obviously, I don't know how to do it, but I know people who can do it. And they were giving me access at extremely affordable prices. They were charging me like what, $30? $30. And I was selling it for $49. You do whatever you want to do with this information. Someone might be like, so many wrong, but I'm providing you access at half the price. And I'm just basically leveraging your, whatever you want to call it. Basically, you don't know the right people and I know the right people. So this information is a piece or a source of arbitrage. I have this leverage because you don't know the person directly. So there are 3 people. I send them a message. What is the cheapest price of Sales Navigator which you can provide? The first guy goes, I can give you access at $35. The other one was $29 and the third one was somewhere around there as well. So I sent the screenshot of the guy who was selling it for $29 to the guy who was selling for $35. I said I'm going to place the order for him. Plus I have all these platforms. I sent the screenshot of all the people in the SalesGen community. And I said they will also buy from this person. If you cannot provide me access at a cheaper price, you can call it wrong, whatever you want to say. That person said, okay, I'll do it for $25. I was like, cool. I took that screenshot. I sent it to the guy who was offering me for $29. And he said, I'll do it for $20. The point I'm trying to convey is someone might call me that I'm exploiting people. But it's just the reality of the game. All of them are selling a commodity. LinkedIn Premium, LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a commodity. It's not that if I buy from person A, my LinkedIn Sales Navigator is going to make me more money. Or if I buy from person B, it's going to have like extra features or some shit. The product is fixed. This is the product. It's exactly the same no matter where I buy it from. It's a commodity, meaning it's exactly the same. Now the person does not have a lot of leverage. And the person with the cheapest price is going to win provided he has credibility. There was another guy who was offering me for $14 if I'm not wrong. I did not buy from him because he looked very dodgy to me. He looked kind of scammy and like no fucking social proof or something. So obviously people need to trust you. But if people trust you, it's just a matter of who can offer the thing at the cheapest prices. For example, I registered my company in the UK today. And I'm not a resident of the UK. I don't live in the UK. So I wanted to buy a office address. Basically, when you go to the UK government's website and you try to register a company over there, you need a registered office, an address where they can send you the mails and they can contact you and everything. Obviously, I'm not a resident of the UK. I don't have access to a place of residence over there. So I go to the internet and I search for virtual registered office address in the UK. And there are companies who are providing it for like $100. You pay me $100 and I'll have your company registered in the UK and everything, all of that stuff. Then there was a company who was giving me a registered office address for $40. Then there's a company who's providing me the address at a couple of dollars. I don't remember exactly how much I paid. I paid around $12, if I'm not wrong today. And that was for 3 months. So approximately £1 a week, not dollars, pound. It's in the UK, so it will be pounds. So I paid £4 a month for a registered office address in the UK. And the point I'm trying to convey, there was a company who was offering it to me for $100. But because it's a commodity, if I got an address from them, it won't be different than me getting the address from the second company. Because it's exactly the same, it's a commodity. There are no extra features or benefit, it's not different. So then they have to compete on price. And if there's one retard who's providing the office address at 50 cents instead of a pound, then all of them are out of business. And I'm going to buy from him. So that's something you never want in your life. You don't want to be fighting for a commodity. That, yeah, this thing is exactly the same as everything else. So I'll try to be the cheapest because there's going to be a retard who's going to be cheaper than you. It's a very simple example. Another example. So either you have the option that you get it registered directly from the government, or you hire someone else to do it for you. And the person who was, like, there was a service on the internet which I just found, which registers your company. And he was just charging £4 more than the government. I thought, okay, I'll give it to him. Like, I don't have to go through the headache. But he did not offer me anything extra apart from the registration. And he required more documents from me. The government was like, cool, you don't need to give me anything. And that guy was like, yeah, bro, give me your passport, give me your driving license, everything, photo, selfie, blah, blah, blah. I was like, bro, you're asking for more shit from me and you're charging me more for a service which is exactly the same. I did not pay him. It does not, like, $4 or £4 is not a lot of money for me. It's not a lot of money. But the thing is, it's a commodity. And someone who has money, you might be like, yeah, Somil, there's a coach who has hundreds and thousands of dollars and they won't mind paying me. Humans are not stupid. Even if someone has money, if they're getting something at a more affordable price, I think so. If the convenience and everything else is the same, they're going to go for the more affordable option, provided everything else is the same. Similarly, £4 was not a lot of money. But I was like, bro, he's not providing me an extra value. So I'll just go with the government. I mean, I trust the government more than this random fucking website on Google Chrome. And that's how he's literally facing issues to make a £4 commission. Literally £4. What's that in Indian rupees? 300 rupees. Which won't even buy him like a lunch or something. He's having to struggle for £4 fucking pounds. Just because he's selling a commodity. So if you have issues in attracting clients and forcing people to get on a sales call with you, the first half of the video answered that. But if you're having issues in converting them, if they're not willing to pay you money, if they're giving you the objection like what makes you different from your competition, I'll think about it, I'll speak to that guy as well, that guy as well, that guy as well. And after I've spoken to all the people, then I'm going to make the decision. That's because you're selling a commodity. You're not different. And if you want to charge prices, you want to live in a vacuum, you want to exist in a vacuum where, like Rolls-Royce, best example. I can't go up to a dealership and tell them, yeah, make this cheaper. Makes the Rolls-Royce Phantom, whatever the car is, I'm not into cars. Make it cheaper. They're going to be like, get lost. Get fucked. And what can I do? There's this one company who makes that exact same car. But if there are dealerships, various dealerships of Rolls-Royce, I'm going to go and speak to them. And if the quality of interactions, if the customer service, hypothetically, let's say everything else was the same. If everything is the same between two dealerships, I'm going to buy the car from the one, which is cheaper. And that's the issue you're facing. You're being compared by people in a competition. The fact that you have competition in the first place is the reason you're struggling. Like, there are hundreds and thousands of companies who offer like screen recording and shit. But I use Loom. Loom has no competition. There's no, like, as of me recording this, in the future there might be. But as of me filming this, there's no better version of Loom. There's no software which can compete with it in terms of speed, efficiency, the quality of the UI player, everything. And it's a market of one. Similarly, Instantly and Smartly.ai, basically the email marketing platforms. Like, I truly think so there are better alternatives for them. But the reason so many people use them is because when email marketing platforms started out, They were the best. And they were in a market of one. Now you don't go to instantly or smartly.ai and you tell them, bro, your marketing platforms are way too expensive. You should like reduce the cost and everything. They're gonna be like, get fucked. Use a random shitty email marketing service like Mistrika and all of these shitty platforms. So long story short, like the main thing which I'm trying to convey is if you're selling a commodity, you're the same as exact like every single retard in your niche. You will always be compared in terms of price. People will always tell you, I need to think of it. I'll speak to your competition. They're offering this shit to me at a cheaper price. And as long as that's the issue, you're always gonna struggle. So yeah, if you want more customers, like if you want more sales calls in your calendar, firstly you need to reach out to people in new ways using effective messages, effective stimuli, which forces them to respond and get on a call with you. But now that they're on the call, you need to be different, you need to be unique. You cannot be selling a fucking commodity like the LinkedIn guys, the people who are selling me the LinkedIn subscriptions. Because I'm always going to do this. Like you can say I'm a horrible, terrible person for doing that. But bro, if someone is offering me a cheaper price, I'll buy that. Because why should I pay more for the exact same thing? Now, if that guy was giving me something extra, he was like, you can run LinkedIn ads, and I guarantee that you get like a 3x ROAS, meaning you follow this exact strategy and you spend like $100 in ads and you make $300 back in the next day. If he promised that to me, I would have bought that from him, even if he was more expensive. Because as of my knowledge right now, there's no one else on the market who's doing that. For example, there are so many Instagram gurus like that grow with Aryan, like in the Indian market. There's G2G, IG Coach, all of these people. I see them as a commodity because they're offering the exact same thing. They want all of these people. But then there's a LinkedIn personal branding guy, someone called Vaibhav Srinesti. I've not bought from any of these people, by the way. But the LinkedIn personal branding guy, Vaibhav Srinesti, he is different in my eyes because I don't see he has any competition. There's no other person who's promising like you can turn your LinkedIn into a inbound leads machine, something like that, whatever he has to offer. Now he's in a market of one. And I think he charges more than all of these different people. But I wouldn't mind paying that because he's different. So yeah, just be different, man. You won't struggle with retards comparing you on price. That's all I had to say. If you're making less than 1,000, 2,000 a month, go to the first link in the description. More than that, the second one. And the third one is a link tree which basically has links to all of the cool stuff. Yeah, bye man.